Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. This is going to be our first viewer's choice video, and we're going to be looking at the V200TG again. We've already done a review on this, so go check that out up there before you watch this video. We're going to answer the main question that our viewers have asked us about that video, so let's get started. So the question that seems to be on everybody's lips is, how do you connect the front fans on the V200TG? Some people don't know where the cables go, some people can't get the fans to spin. So we're going to take a look at that, but for that we need to flip the case around and take a look at the controller. So here is the controller that seems to be causing so much confusion. Now, to be fair, the instructions aren't exactly that clear, so hopefully this little video is going to help you guys out a little bit. So those of you that watched the review on the video may have seen B-roll shots of the fans on the front and some fans on the rear exhaust as well, and I will tell you how I did that in a little bit. But first, let's take a look at how you can get the fans working with just the Thermaltake controller that comes with the case. So there are just a few connections that you need to make sure that are definitely plugged in correctly for the fans to actually work. Now the main one is obviously the power. You must plug it into a SATA connection. As I've said in the previous video, it's not a SATA pass-through, so you are going to need a spare SATA connection on your power supply. So the other cable you're going to need to plug in is this little 2-pin cable here. You probably can't see that very well, but this is the button on the front, the RGB button on the front, and this plugs in at the top of the controller right next to the 12-volt LED output connection on there. So plug that one in there right next to the 12-volt output there. Make sure your SATA connection is plugged into a spare SATA power connector, like so. Now they should already come connected, but if they're not connected, the free fans will need to be plugged into the controller also, or they're not going to spin and they won't light up and you won't be able to change the colour on them. So there are only 3 ports on this controller, so it doesn't matter which fan you plug into where, it makes no difference whatsoever. But make sure the 3 fans are plugged in to the 3 ports on the bottom right hand side there. You'll also find a 3-pin fan 4 header connection there, and you can plug in a standard 3-pin fan to that. So if you want to put one on the back for exhaust, you can plug it straight into that controller. You've also got a 4-pin 12-volt RGB header on the top there, the white connection that you can see there by my finger, and if you wanted to, you can plug in other things, LED strips, anything like that you can also sync with your motherboard as well. Moving on to syncing with your motherboard, I can't show you that because I don't have a motherboard that supports syncing, but I can show you the cable, and that is actually directly attached. It doesn't come unplugged from what I can see. I haven't actually taken the controller off to see what's on the other side, but that cable is quite a long cable, as you can see there, and it comes with 2 connections. One is a female 4-pin connection there, and the other is the male connection, so you can plug that into the motherboard for sync support. So let's power it on to show you the fans working on the controller that comes with the case. As you can see, the system is booting up, the fans are spinning, and the LEDs on the lights are doing their thing. Now we can change the LED mode by pressing the button on the top there, and we can cycle through all the different modes that this case has to offer. Brilliant. So you may be wondering how I managed to sync the fans on the front with the fan on the back that I had for the AIO cooler there. Well, it just so happened that I managed to find a controller on eBay, and luckily the connections on the controller were exactly the same as the connections for the controller on here as well. They are, what, 5 or 6 pins on there, and I just basically tried it and they work. So this little controller here, it was about £6 or something like that. It came with the fans that you see on the back there, but this thing has a ton of connections on it, far more than the controller that comes with this case. This has 2, 4, 6, 8 headers for fans or LED strips, and it has 2 4-pin connections on here as well. You can also control the LEDs and the fan speed with this controller using a remote control which has a built-in infrared sensor. Lovely. It would have been really nice to have extra ports on the other side of the controller there that comes with the case, so I could have plugged the rear exhaust fans directly into the controller without having to go and buy a separate controller for those and the front ones to get them all to sync together. But as far as the built-in controller goes, it's very simple. Plug the 2-pin into the top, plug the 3 fans in, you can't go wrong with that, plug the SATA connection in, and plug your sync cable in if your motherboard supports 4-pin RGB sync support, and away you go. It's as simple as that. So that's the end of our quick look at the controller on the V200 TG. I hope this answers some of the questions that we've been getting on this review, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to see more content like this, please do comment down below and we'll try and answer those in video form the best we can. Thanks for watching everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.